Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Thursday, July 7th, 2022. Today I'm going to recap yesterday's Major League Baseball, WNBA, and we'll talk some Summer League as well. Look ahead to today's games in each sport. We'll go over the Wimbledon results from yesterday. Look ahead to today. We'll go over the current leaderboards for the Barbasol Championship and the Scottish Open. I'll do my final NHL mock draft as the draft is tonight. News and notes and best bet. All right, we'll start with Major League Baseball. We'll go over the games from yesterday and look ahead to today's games. Tigers over the Guardians 8-2. The Tigers 34-47. The Guardians are 540-40. Cubs over the Brewers 2-1. The Cubs 34-48. Milwaukee 47-37. White Sox over the Twins 9-8-10 on a walk-off single by Leury Garcia as the White Sox go to 39-41. Minnesota 47-38. Blue Jays over the Athletics 2-1. The Blue Jays are 45-38. Oakland is 28-56. Angels over the Marlins 5-2. Angels are 38-45. Marlins 39-41. Mets over the Reds 8-3-10. This was a bad beat for best bet. The Mets blowing up offensively in the top of the 10th was a bad beat. Mets go to 51-31. Reds 28-53. Braves over the Cardinals 3-0. The Braves 49-34. St. Louis 44-40. Yankees over the Pirates 16-0. Now that's how the best team in baseball performs against a bad team. 59-23 on the year. Pittsburgh 33-48. Orioles over the Rangers 2-1. Orioles 39-44. Texas 37-43. Nats over the Phillies 3-2. The Nats are 30-54. Philly 43-39. Rays over the Red Sox 7-1. The Red Sox were clearly looking ahead to the Yankees series. Rays are 45-37. Red Sox same record, 45-37. Royals over the Astros 7-4. The Royals are 30-50. The Astros are 53-28. Giants over the Diamondbacks 7-5. The Giants are 41-39. Diamondbacks 37-45. And the Dodgers over the Rockies 2-1 on a walk-off infield single by Mookie Betts. LA is 52-29. Colorado is 35-27. All right, now I look ahead to today's games. 2 o'clock, you have the Royals and the Astros from Houston. Chris Bubic and Justin Verlander, who's probably the favorite for the American League Cy Young right now. The Astros are minus 375. The Royals are 3-1. Over under 8. Overs minus 105. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Royals plus 1/2 is plus 134. Astros minus 1/2 is minus 162. I'm going with the under. I don't see the Royals hitting Verlander, and I think that the Astros, they might go over by themselves, but I think this is an under game. This might be 6-1. Houston. Pirates Reds doubleheader game 1 make up for May 6th. Roansy Contreras and Mike Minor. Each side is minus 108. Over under 9. Overs minus 122. Unders even money. Pirates minus 1/2 is plus 140. Reds plus 1/2 is minus 170. It's a pick 'em from a money line standpoint, and the Pirates are favored on the run line. The pick here is going to be Pittsburgh minus 108. The bounce back from that 16-0 loss against the Yankees. 4 o'clock, you have the Nationals and the Phillies. Jonah Dawn and Bailey Falter. Phillies minus 184. Nats plus 154. Over under 9.5. Overs even money. Unders minus 122. Nats plus 1/2 is minus 134. Phillies minus 1/2 is plus 110. I'm going with the over. 7 o'clock, Angels Orioles from Camden Yards. Chase Silseth and Jordan Lyles. Orioles minus 112. Angels minus 104. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 122. Unders even money. Angels minus 1/2 is plus 168. Orioles plus 1/2 is minus 205. Orioles favored on the money line. Angels favored on the run line. I'm actually going to go with the Orioles and lay the minus 112. Marlins Mets. Daniel Castano, Trevor Williams. Mets minus 166. Marlins plus 140. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 114. Unders minus 106. Marlins plus 1.5 is minus 152. Mets minus 1.5 is plus 126. I like the over. I think Castano could get rocked up a little bit, and then Trevor Williams hasn't been all that great. Yankees, Red Sox from Fenway. First time these two teams are facing off since opening weekend, where the Yankees won 2 out of 3, and this is the first time they're playing in Fenway this year. I don't think anybody would have guessed the Yankees' first visit to Fenway wouldn't be until July, but here we are. Garrett Cole and Josh Winkowski. Yankees minus 168, Boston plus 142, over under 9, overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Yankees minus 1.5 is Red Sox plus 1.5 is minus 110 each way. This is a tough one. I'm going to go with the under because of Garrett Cole pitching. He has revenge on his mind in a way because he got roughed up in the wild card game last year. And Winkowski hasn't been bad for Boston. So for a Yankees-Sox game, I think it's low scoring. I'm going to say it's a 5-3 Yankee win, so I'm going to go under 9, minus 115. Doubleheader game 2, the Pirates and the Reds. Who is pitching for this game is the question. This game's not even posted on here because it's a doubleheader game 2 and we just don't know who's pitching. But this could be the game where the Reds win. 7:20 of the Cardinals and the Braves. You have Matthew Liberatore and Spencer Strider. Braves are minus 225. Cards are plus 188. Over under 9. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Cards plus 1.5 is minus 111. Braves minus 1.5 is minus 108. I'm surprised the run lines are like that. Amazingly enough. I like the under a lot. Next up, 8 o'clock, you have the Tigers at the White Sox. Bayo, Brisky, and Dylan Cease. White Sox minus 250, Tigers plus 205, over under 8, overs minus 104, unders minus 118. Tigers plus 1.5 is minus 104, White Sox minus 1.5 is minus 115. So for this game, I'm going to go with the over, but I don't feel good about it. $9:30, Rockies Diamondbacks. Austin Gomber and Dallas Keuchel. So Dallas Keuchel making his debut for the Diamondbacks. Rockies minus 116, D-backs minus 102, over under 9.5, overs minus 114, unders minus 106. Rockies minus 1.5 is plus 134, D-backs plus 1.5 is minus 162. I like the over a lot in this game. Giants Padres. It's a big one in the NL West. Logan Webb and Joe Musgrove. Padres minus 142, Giants plus 120, over under 7, overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Giants plus 1.5 is minus 92, Padres minus 1.5 is plus 158. I am going to go with the Padres first half run line, minus a half at plus 110. 10 o'clock, you have the Cubs and the Dodgers. Mark Leiter Jr. and Tony Gonsolin. Dodgers minus 290, Cubs plus 235, over under 8.5, overs minus 106, unders minus 114. Cubs plus 1.5 is plus 112, Dodgers minus 1.5 is minus 134. I'm going to go with the over in this game. Actually, you know what? I do like the over. I could see this going over. I could see the Dodger offense getting to the Cubs bullpen. And last but not least, the Blue Jays and the Mariners. We don't know who's going for Toronto, and Marco Gonzalez is going for Seattle. That game is not posted yet. But Toronto's a slight favorite according to ESPN Analytics, so maybe they're a side if Seattle's favored. All right, now we'll go to the WNBA. We'll recap the games from last night and look ahead to today's games. Lynx over the Sky 81-78. The Lynx are 8-15. The Sky are 15-6. Ariel Powers 24 points and 11 boards, and Kalia Cooper 20 for Chicago. Mystics over the Dream 85-66. The Mystics are 14-10. Atlanta's 10-12. Elena Deladon 26 points, 8 boards, and Monique Ballings 10-9-4. And the Liberty over the Aces, 116-107. They come from behind to beat the Aces. What a great win for them. New York's 9-12, and Las Vegas is 15-7. Sabrina Ionescu, the first player, the highest scoring player in WNBA history, with the highest scoring triple-double. 31 points, 13 boards, 10 assists. She might be a top 5 player in the WNBA. It's crazy that the Liberty don't have a better record than this. Aja Wilson, 29-9. And by the way, these set of games are the last set of games until Sunday. They have the weekend off. 7 o'clock, you have the Sky and the Fever. The Fever are getting 9.5 points. Totals 169.5. I like the under in that game. 10 o'clock on Facebook. The Liberty against the Mercury. So the Liberty on the second of a back-to-back. Phoenix is favored 4.5. Totals 163.5. I like the over in that game. I think that the Liberty could score with anybody. And 10:30 Commissioner's Cup game on Twitter. The Storm and the Sparks. The Storm are favored by 4.5. Totals 161.5. I'm going with LA getting the 4.5 at home, and I think they can win too. They're plus 172 on the money line. All right, now we're going to talk some NBA Summer League. I believe it is still going on in Salt Lake City and in San Francisco. And it is. Results: the Thunder over the Grizzlies 87-71. Jalen Williams 16 points. And Kenny Lofton Jr. 19 points. And the 76ers over the Jazz 86-82. Charles Bassey 17 points, and Justin Robinson had 17 for Utah. So we have 6 games tonight in the Summer League. 6 o'clock, you have the Thunder against the 76ers. The Thunder are favored by 1.5. Totals 172.5. A later 1.5 with Oklahoma City. Chet Holmgren, Josh Giddey. That's easily the best team in Summer League. Jalen Williams. Once they hit Vegas, they should win. 8 o'clock, you have the Grizzlies against the Jazz. The Grizzlies are favored by 8.5. Totals 171.5. I guess this would be like Zaire Williams. I really don't know who's playing for Memphis. Zaire Williams did not play coach's decision. Same with Kennedy Chandler. And then the Jazz. Nobody of significance is playing for them. But I'll take the points with the Jazz. 10 o'clock, you have the Rockets and the Magic. So, Jabari against Paolo. Jabari and the Rockets are favored by 1.5. Totals 165.5. I'll lay the 1.5 with the Rockets. They have Jabari. They have some other pieces. I wonder if Sengun's playing. So that's another good one. And then at midnight Eastern, you have the Blazers against the Pistons. You have the Pistons favored by 2.5. Totals 164.5. I don't think Cade's playing, but Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren. So I'm going to lay the 2.5 with Portland. Or I'm sorry, with Detroit. Against Portland. So a little Summer League in there as well. Tennis time. We'll go over yesterday's Wimbledon results and look ahead to what's going on today. We'll start with the men's quarterfinal from yesterday. Nick Kyrgios over Christian Garin in 3 sets. And 2-seed Rafael Nadal over 11-seed Taylor Fritz in 5 sets. And it took extras for Nadal to get it done. Women's quarterfinals from last night. 16-seed Simona Halep over 20-seed Amanda Anisimova in 2 sets. And 17-seed Elena Rybakina over Alja Tomljanovic in 3 sets. The first of 2 semifinals are going on right now. First, Ons Jabeur, your 3-seed, and Tajana Maria for the right to go to the championship. Jabeur won the first set. Maria's up in the second set right now, which is amazing. I'm going to see if we can live bet Ons Jabeur 3 sets. We can. Plus 550 would be a pretty cool live bet as Jabeur just ties Maria. So, like I said, that's a fun live bet. So, Ons Jabeur plus 650. 2 games to 1 live bet. Just a fun live bet that I just decided to throw. A small amount. And then at 9:45 Eastern, you have 17-seed Elena Rybakina and 16-seed Simona Halep. I'm thinking Halep 3 sets. Halep's minus 330. Rybakina is plus 260. Halep 2-1 is plus 270. So that's going to be my pick for that one. So, men's semifinal is tomorrow. Women's championship is Saturday. Men's championship is Sunday. So, this should be a fun weekend of tennis, and we're going to cover it on the podcast tomorrow. All right, now move on to golf. 2 leaderboards to go over. We'll go Barbasol first. Your leader with a score of 4 under is Scott Brown. Tied for second with 3 under Trey Mullinax, Tom Lewis, Richard Johnson, Lucas Hodges, and Nikolai von Dellingshausen. Tied for 7th with 2 under is a pretty big tie. Ryan Moore, Jonathan Bird, Tyler Duncan, Kevin Tway, Derek Ernst, Kevin Strillman, Aaron Baddeley, Taylor Moore, Ricardo Govia, Oliver Wilson, Max McGreevy, D.A. Points, Andrew Wilson. Tie for 20th with 1 under. There's another monster tie. John Merrick, Richard McEvoy, Marcus Helgicade, Hank Labodia, Hurley Long, Patton Kazir, David Lingermirth, DJ Tran, William McGirt, Matthias Schmid, Doc Redman, who was my pick, Ricky Barnes, Josh Teeter, Julian Surrey, John Huh, Michael Kim, Grayson Sigg, George McNeil, Hugo Leone, Michael Giljic, Hayden Poteris, Omar Uresti, David Skins, and Brett Druitt. Tied for 44th and even. Now we're just going to go through notables because of time. Henry Higgs, Camilo Vegas, Kevin Stadler, Ben Martin, Tommy Gainey, Ben Coles. Tied for 66 with 1 over. Vincent Whaley. And that's really it among notables. And then the rest have yet to tee off. All right, early leaderboard at the Scottish Open. Your leader with 9 under, Cam Triangle. Amazing. Second with 6 under, Gary Woodland. Tied for third with 5 under, Mito Pereira and Justin Harding. Fifth with 4 under, Rasmus Hojard. Tied for 6th with 3 under, Alex Smalley, Brandon Wu, Ryan Palmer, Ewan Ferguson, Sam Burns, Dylan Fratelli, Nikolai Hojard, and Doug Gim. Tied for 14th with 2 under. This is a pretty big tie. Russell Knox, Sean Crocker, Joo-Hyung Kim, John Rahm, Jordan Spieth, Tyrell Hatton, Justin Rose, who was my pick, Cam Smith, Daniel Van Tonder, Dean Brewmeister, Alexander Zork, Rafa Cabarrabello, Shabankar Sharma, Matthew Jordan, Nirban Lahiri, and Connor Syme. Tied for 30th with 1 under, Joaquin Neiman, Charlie Hoffman, Lucas Herbert, Brandon Grace, Ricky Fowler, Jason Shriver, Miko Croden, Mark Warren, Thomas Dietrich, Julian Guerrero, Padraig Harrington, James Morrison, Brandon Stone, Robert McIntyre, Matt Fitzpatrick, John Colton, Mark Leishman, Patrick Cantlay, and Siwoo Kim. Tied for 50th at even. Now I'm just going to go through notables. J.J. Spawn, Luke Donald, Ian Poulter, Wyndham Clark, Mackenzie Hughes, Kevin Katayama. Scores keep changing on the fly. Colin Morikawa, Sungjae Im, Mackenzie Hughes, Will Zalatoris, Justin Thomas, Tommy Fleetwood, Lucas Glover, Hideki Matsuyama, Mark Homa, Patrick Cantlay, Stuart Sink, Matt Kuchar. Tied for 84th with 1 over, Chris Kirk, Aaron Ray, Harry English, Seb Straka, Wyndham Clark, Matt Wallace, Maverick McNeely, Xander Schauffele, Kyung-Hoo Lee tied for 103rd with 2 over, with Jonathan Vegas, Keegan Bradley, Garrett Higo, Cam Young, Robert Strav, Jason Kokrak, Taylor Hogue. Tied for 118th with 3 over, Scotty Scheffler, Keith Mitchell, Luke List, Ryan Ormore, Callum Tarrant, Brett Horschel. Tied for 127th with 4 over, Troy Merritt, Victor Hovland. 133rd with 5 over, David Lipsky. 134th with 6 over, Stephen Brown and Joel Dahman. And then the rest have yet to tee off. All right, now I'm going to do my final NHL mock draft of the year. And this is the 6th one I did. I probably would have done 7 if I didn't have to do a short show on Friday last week. But here it is, my 6th and final edition of the 2022 NHL mock draft. Number 1, the Montreal Canadiens, Shane Wright, center, Kingston. We've talked about it. This is a no-brainer for Montreal. Wright's not the franchise player, but he can come in and be a top 6 guy for Montreal and fills a need for him. Number 2, the New Jersey Devils, Jurov Slafkovsky, wing, TPS Legia. The Devils have a big need for offense, and Slafkovsky should be the guy here. He has the size and strength to have an impact, and he would fit really nicely with the Devils' young, talented centers. 3, the Arizona Coyotes, Logan Cooley, center, USA under-18. There are some people that think that this could be somebody else, like Cutter Gauthier or a defenseman, but I think it should be Cooley. He's an excellent skater and has great skills with the puck. Number 4, the Seattle Kraken. David Jiricek, defenseman, Plzeň, Czech Republic. The Kraken should simply just go with the best player available with their pick. A knee injury derailed Jiricek this past season, but has the potential to be a top pair guy. 5, the Philadelphia Flyers. Smo Nemec, defenseman, Nitra, Slovakia. The Flyers are a little unknown on what they'll actually do here, but defense is a need, and Nemec is a solid fit. Nemec is arguably the best defenseman in the draft because of his outstanding two-way play, as well as his skating. Number 6, the Columbus Blue Jackets from the Chicago Blackhawks. Cutter Gauthier, wing, USA under-18, MTDP. The Blue Jackets are in a rebuild of some sorts, and now I have them going with Gauthier. He's your classic power forward player with his ability to shoot the puck. 7, the Ottawa Senators. Joakim Kemell, wing, JYP, Finland. The Senators are another team that should just go with the best player available. Kemell has potential to be a big-time scorer in the league, and the Senators could use the type of player on the wing. 8, the Detroit Red Wings. Marco Kasper, center, Rögle, Sweden. The Red Wings are a team that is desperate to get back into the postseason. Here I have them taking the talented center. Kasper is a super versatile player who has solid work ethic. Number 9, the Buffalo Sabres. Kevin Korchinski, defenseman, Seattle, WHL. Korchinski is a super fast riser heading into tonight's draft. He has good playmaking skills for a defender and is one of the better ones in this class. 10, the Anaheim Ducks. Matthew Savoy, center, Winnipeg, WHL. With their first of 2 first-rounders, I have the Ducks taking the talented center. Savoy is one of the more dynamic skaters in the draft class and has a ton of speed. 11, the San Jose Sharks. Jonathan Lekkerimäki, wing, Desjardins, Sweden. In my final mock, I have the Sharks going off the consensus and taking the talented wing. Lekkerimäki is a solid two-way player with good offensive instincts. 12, the Columbus Blue Jackets. Denton Matejchuk, defenseman, Moose Jaw, WHL. With their second of 2 first-rounders, I have the Jackets going defense. Matejchuk is a strong skater who is good at creating chances with the puck. 13, the New York Islanders. Pavel Mintyukov, defenseman, Senegal, OHL. The Islanders, I feel, are a safe pick to trade away their pick for immediate help. Mintyukov is a physical player who is a defensive version of a power forward. 14, the Winnipeg Jets. Connor Geekie, center, Winnipeg, WHL. This pick would be a fun one as the Jets take the hometown kid. Geekie is a super productive player that has great speed but has some skating concerns which may have teams alarmed. 15, the Vancouver Canucks. Noah Ostlund, center, Desjardins Jr., 20, Sweden. The Canucks take an upside play here with Ostlund. He really broke out in the under-18 tournament and really showed a great processing ability. And if he adds some strength, you have yourself a top 16 guy. 16, the Buffalo Sabres from the Vegas Golden Knights. Danila Yurov, wing, Magnitorsky, Russia. Yurov is someone who is a bit of a wild card come draft night in terms of where he may be picked. His lack of production in the KHL could have some teams cautious in terms of drafting him this high. 17, the Nashville Predators. Brad Lambert, center, Pelicans, Finland. Lambert going this high could be a reach, but I won't be surprised if this is a trade-down situation. Lambert is a very skilled forward that has great work ethic and brings a lot to the table. 18, the Dallas Stars. Ivan Mirshenenko, wing, Omsky, MHL. Mirshenenko is a fast riser as the draft approaches. He's a little bit of a wild card considering he had Hodgkin's lymphoma, which set back his development a little bit. 19, the Minnesota Wild from the Los Angeles Kings. Liam Ogren, wing, Desjardins Jr., Sweden. The Wild, with their first of 2 picks, take the talented wing. Ogren is an explosive player with a ton of speed and plays with a lot of energy. 20, the Washington Capitals. Nathan Gauthier, center, Quebec, QMJHL. Gauthier is someone whose stock is rising with the draft coming today. Gauthier is someone who's a pro-ready player with his ability to shut down the opposition and is a physical player. That's a good shot, too. 21, the Pittsburgh Penguins. Frank Nazar, center, USA Under-18, NTDP. This would be a major steal for the Penguins if Nazar were to fall this far. He is a super smart player that has fast pace and a ton of energy. 22, the Anaheim Ducks from the Boston Bruins. Leon Bichsel, defenseman, Leksand, Sweden. With their second first rounder of the Ducks going defense, Bichsel could be a steal here as he's an aggressive player and moves well for his size. 23, the St. Louis Blues. Ryan Chesley, defenseman, USA Under-18, NTDP. This would be a great selection for the Blues at this spot. Chesley's a solid two-way defenseman and does a great job being a shutdown guy, and he would be a steal at this pick as well. 24, the Minnesota Wild. Isaac Howard, wing, USA Under-18, NTDP. The USA's Under-18 team is going to produce a ton of talent from this draft. Howard was a part of that team, but he was overshadowed by his teammates, and he's a talented scorer and skater. 25, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Luca Del Belbalou, center, Mississauga, WHL. This would be an interesting selection for the Maple Leafs. Del Belbalou is a solid two-way center, but is not that great of a skater. 26, Montreal Canadiens from the Calgary Flames. Tristan Luneau, defenseman, Gatineau, QMJHL. With their second first rounder, I have the Canadiens going defense. Luneau is a smart and efficient player both ways and is great in the transition game. 27, the Arizona Coyotes from the Montreal Canadiens via the Carolina Hurricanes. Owen Pickering, defenseman, Swift Current, WHL. This would be a steal for the Coyotes here with their second first rounder. Pickering is a strong skater that has the potential to become a solid two-way defenseman. 28, the Buffalo Sabres from the Florida Panthers. Jiri Kulich, center, HC Energy, Czech Republic. With their third first rounder, I have the Sabres going with the talented center. Kulich is someone whose stock rose after a good U18 tournament and is a super physical player. 29, the Edmonton Oilers. Jagger Furcus, wing, Moose Jaw, WHL. The Oilers are a team that should do what the Avalanche did, which was trading their pick to get the goalie that would put them over the top. Furcus dropping this far could be a steal as he is super talented offensively and has great creativity. 30, the Winnipeg Jets from the New York Rangers. Jimmy Snuggard, center wing, USA Under-18, NTDP. With their second first rounder, I have the Jets grabbing the talented forward. Snuggard is one of the more improved players heading into the draft as he skates well and has the skills of a power forward. 31, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Filip Mesar, center wing, HK Poprad, Slovakia. The Lightning really do a great job rebooting their team on the fly after they trade away players or lose guys in free agency. Mesar is a highly skilled and creative winger that has a good rate off the puck. And 32, the Arizona Coyotes from the Colorado Avalanche. Sam Rinzel, defenseman, Chaska, USHL. With their third first rounder, I have the Coyotes going defense. Rinzel is a fast riser come draft day and is a terrific offensive defenseman with some potential on the back end too. So there you have it. The final 2022 NHL mock draft. All right, now I'll move on to today's news and notes. Not a lot to talk about. So the NBA 2K game cover came out and it's featuring Devin Booker. Well, it's his cover, which was pretty cool. Kevin Durant shouts out Chet Holmgren after Chet wore KD's 15s in his Summer League debut. Kevin Durant has gone dark as multiple stars around the league reached out to him but isn't responding. And Woj reports that the Nets want the biggest trade return ever as he's has Brooklyn's looking into multi-team deals for Durant, which is a good call. And it could land a big return. The Heat re-signed Caleb Martin, 3 years, $20 million plus. Donovan Mitchell was questioning the Jazz front office moves as The front office told him recent trades were what's right for the franchise after he asked what the plan was. The Blazers to waive Eric Bledsoe and expected to pursue him once he hits free agency. Jimmy Butler took P.J. Tucker signing with the Philadelphia 76ers personally. That's not that surprising. WNBA news. The Mercury are exploring Skylar Diggins-Smith trades as they consider trading her after a recent social media exchange with head coach Vanessa Nygaard, which is crazy. Front and center tonight's going to be the NHL. Tonight's the draft. The two names popping up as trade bait are JT Miller of Vancouver and Matthew Tkachuk of Calgary. Miller obviously was a hot commodity at the deadline last year, and Tkachuk, they're just trying to clear cap room to re-sign Johnny Gaudreau. And the schedule came out last night. I was going to do a show talking about the schedule, but not every national television game is shown. So I'm going to wait until after draft and free agency to do that show because there could be some players on the move that we don't know about. But that's one thing that the NHL does that I'm really not a big fan of, and that's a schedule release before the draft and free agency because you don't know who's going to be traded and whatnot. And unlike the NBA, they do their schedule after the offseason so they can put certain games on certain networks that are like return games and whatnot. Penguins general manager Ron Hextall is hopeful the Penguins' agreement with defenseman Chris Letang, but he is not as close with Evgeny Malkin. There's a lot of speculation that Malkin's going to leave and Letang's going to stay. We'll see what happens there. Columbus Blue Jackets general manager Jarmo Kekalainen teasing some oohs and ahs in tomorrow's night's draft. So that's very interesting. Chris Sale had a rehab start last night, and he wasn't happy, and he destroyed a locker room. Speaking of ridiculousness, the Pirates broadcast booth, were saying this is ridiculous. I mean, that's insane. That's just unprofessional. I mean, the Pirates are not good and the Yankees are awesome. Just come on. And speaking of the Yankees, Hal Steinbrenner talks Judge offer and says he has no regrets about the preseason offer to Judge, and there will be more conversations. They should have regrets right now. They probably didn't at the time, but I think they should a little bit right now. Judge leads the league in homers. He's the AL MVP favorite, and he just made himself a whole lot of more money with his phenomenal first half of the season. So maybe Hal is having some regrets right now, but he shouldn't have any regrets before the season because of the perception of how he was often injured and whatnot. So there's an argument that the Yankees had for giving the offer that they did for Judge. And even that offer was the highest offer they've ever had for a position player, even more so than A-Rod. So that's saying something. Kyle Hendricks lands on the 15A injured list with right shoulder pain. Team recalls righty Anderson Espinoza from AA Tennessee. That is a giant loss for the Cubs. And that pretty much puts them in a little bit of a tank mode. Evan Longoria on the 10-day injured list with an oblique strain. Joey Bart gets called up. And the big NFL news from yesterday is that the Browns finally trade Baker Mayfield They trade him to the Carolina Panthers for a 2024 fifth-round pick. Like that deal for Carolina. They get a steal. They only gave up a fifth-round pick for a guy that made the AFC Championship game a couple years ago. And the Browns played the Panthers week 1, amazingly enough. Robbie Anderson made that comment about Baker back in April. Not great. And Anderson made a comment, no issue with Baker, as he tweets that out. And the Panthers won't trade Sam Darnold despite landing Baker Mayfield. And Aaron Rodgers gets his first tattoo. So that's pretty neat as well. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day. Brought to you by FanDuel. There's some hard calls in terms of where to go. And today's certainly another one. And the place I'm going to go with my best bet today. Wow, the Giants-Padres total went down to 6.5. That's insane. There's just not a lot of them that I like. Just staring at a couple. So let me just see something real quick. I'm gonna go over 8 in White Sox Tigers. I don't feel strong about it, but the AL Central teams have been going over a lot lately. So I'm gonna go over 8 at -104 between the Tigers and the White Sox. So that's it for today's show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything from today, looking ahead to everything for tomorrow and the weekend. I might do an NHL draft recap show over the weekend because obviously it's the first round, and then obviously the next several rounds would be tomorrow night. And then obviously news and notes and best bet for you as well. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.